I could definitely speak to traveling around the world. You don't see as many Black American men traveling as uh, Black American women. I mean, the Black American women, a lot of times they travel in groups. You know what I'm saying?
in
So you may
groups.
see three, four, five, six, 10 Black
Yeah,
American women. Sometimes you see Black American women traveling solo. You know, at a much
yeah,
higher rate. I rarely run into Black American men when I'm traveling abroad, especially when you're going to Africa and you're going to Asia, you're going to places where a lot of people are hesitant to travel to. So I can definitely testify to that. I wanted to
mm.
ask you, did you have like a favorite episode? Is it, or what are your top three episodes that stick out to you? And, you
Favorite episode. Ooh, that's tough, man. Because you don't want to leave anybody out.
right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
most definitely.
Um, I'll say I've had top three categories of episode, if you would allow me to do that, and that is mental health. Um, because, and I'm not sure if you know this. I was actually just reading the statistics recently. Men commit suicide at a higher rate than women do.
Mm,
What's ironic about that is that women attempt suicide at a higher rate than men, but it'll be the man who will end up pulling the trigger, right? So there's been a lot of mental health issues. I mean, if you black, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with some sort of mental health issues. And so we've had probably about 3 to 4 guests talking about mental health. If you there's an episode called hashtag driven with Corey Minor Smith. She's a attorney, author, and a mental health advocate. And her mother suffers from schizophrenia, and she has
mm,
her entire life. So she's had to become an advocate for her mother, and she was telling us a lot of the signs of mental health because there's different levels to it. You have minor um, types of cases, you have very severe cases. Then we had a brother on. His name is Roosevelt Stringer, and he's actually the older brother of Damon Stringer, the basketball player that came out of Heights. Well, he suffered from bipolar disorder,
mm.
and he was breaking down a lot of the things that he went through. And so that was probably that's why I can't just chalk it up to one guest, because that's a topic that you can't talk about enough. And because of the different guests we've had on, it's opened me up a lot to things that I go through, things that other people go through, and just to be more aware of the issues that people can have, and specifically black men, because we don't really talk about these things. So that was my favorite. Well, that was my first favorite category. My second favorite category is the traveling, because to me, so having you and C Nicole on, Black American man, Black American woman, who's doing big things in that space, and both of y'all are. It's funny because y'all so much alike in the sense that y'all both for the culture. Y'all both about taking people and showing them the world. Y'all both authors.
Mm.
Y'all both in music. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah.
it's just like wow, man. That was the reason why I sent you to her. I said, man, you got to meet her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be number two, and my third one, I would have to say financial literacy so far. And so far we've had one episode, and that was with two brothers from the church. One is a financial advisor, and the other one works in finance. And they was just dropping gems, man. Like one guy said that his father taught him about money. Right? It was his father sitting around at the dinner table talking about stocks and bonds and things like that. And at that time, he was a kid. He didn't really hear it, but it's something when you plant those seeds, how over time they grow. And so that's caused him to really, not one be responsible in his own right, but also to teach it to other people. So I would say those are my probably top three. You know what I mean?